Hi, this video is going to be about solving equations using algebra and also graphs. When we're solving an equation for a variable, what we want to do is make sure that we're keeping our equation balanced. So whatever we do to one side, we're going to do to the other side. Our goal is to get the x by itself. So the first step that I'm going to do in solving this equation is I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. Remember, whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. What happens is these 5's cancel out. So I'm just left with 2x equals 8 on the other side. So now I have a 2 in front of my x, and the way that I'm going to get rid of that is I'm going to divide by 2 on both sides. So then the 2's will cancel out. So now I'm just left with x, which is our goal, and then we have x equals 4, and that's our answer. So when you're solving equations, what you want to do is make sure that whatever you do to one side, you do to the other side, and that you're also trying to move numbers over to the other side so that you can solve for the variable. So let's look at how this would play out in an application. A student has a savings account with $475 in it. She deposits $125 of her paycheck into the account every week. Write an equation to represent the amount of money the student has in her account. So we know that we need to have a variable to represent how much money the student has in her account. So I'm going to use the variable m for the total amount of money. I know that she started with $475. So I'm going to go ahead and put that into my equation. And that each week she's putting $125 of her paycheck into the account. So I'm going to add the $125 for every week. So M is the total, and W is the amount of weeks. Whenever we see like every week or per, we know that we're going to stick that variable with whatever we're adding or subtracting. So since we're adding $125 every week, we're doing 125W. So now we want to know how much money she will have in 3 weeks. Well, we know that our variable for weeks is W. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in 3 for W. And what I can do is I can go ahead and put that straight into my calculator. And when I do that, I get $850. So since we're asking for 3 weeks, we wanted to plug in 3 for the weeks variable, which is W. So in 3 weeks, she'll have $850. Now this next question asks us, how long will it take her to have $1,350 in her account? So now we know that we're dealing with a total, which is our variable M. So I'm going to put 1,350 in for M into my equation. Because I don't know how many weeks it is, that's what I'm trying to determine. So if I want to go ahead and solve this equation, I first need to get the 475 over to the other side. So I'm going to subtract 475 from both sides. And when I do that, I get 875. And I still have the 125W on the other side. Now to get rid of a number that's in front of the variable, what we're going to do is we're going to divide on both sides. And when I do that, I get 7 equals W. So what that means is it's going to take 7 weeks for the student in order to get $1,350 into her account. Let's look at one more problem. So here we have a graph. It says Claire purchased some salted almonds at $6 a pound and some dried figs at $9 a pound. She spent $75 before tax. So what we want to do is write an equation. So when we think about it, we have two different variables here. We have salted almonds and dried figs. I know that the salted almonds, I'm going to use S for salted almonds, and I'm going to use D for dried figs. I don't know how many pounds of salted almonds or dried figs I got, but I do know that almonds are $6 per every pound. So however many pounds of salted almonds I got, I'm going to take 6 times however many pounds plus 9 times however many pounds of dried figs I have. And I know that that's going to add up to 75 because that's how much Claire purchased. That's how much the total she spent. So again, remember we see that it says $6 a pound. So that's when we know we're going to be multiplying. So this is our equation right here. Now what we want to do is we want to be able to use this graph. So what this line represents on the graph is every possible combination of salted almonds and dried figs that could lead up to $75. So the points that are on the line are our possible combinations. If the point is not on the line, that's not a possible combination because it doesn't add up to 75. So what we want to do is use this line to help us answer the following questions. So if Claire buys 5 pounds of almonds, how many pounds of figs can she buy? So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at 5 pounds of almonds. So if I draw a line up from 5 pounds of almonds to the line, then I'll draw over to dried figs. So if I buy 5 pounds of almonds, I'm also going to buy 5 pounds of figs because that's this coordinate right here. 5 almonds and 5 figs. So that's the combination that would get me $75. Last question, if she buys 7 pounds of figs, how many pounds of almonds can she buy? So now we're talking about figs, which is on our y-axis. So I'm going to go ahead and draw from 7 figs and then go down. So I can only buy 2 pounds of almonds. Because this coordinate right here is 2, 7. 2 is the amount of almonds I can buy. 7 is the amount of figs that I can buy. So again, that line represents all the possible combinations that we could have in spending $75. Thanks for watching.